Hi, everyone. It's Leslie coming to you live from my home office, actually from my family room. I hope everyone is doing well. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust it to make sure that you can see everything okay. Um, Welcome to another episode of Love Where You Live, Give Where You Love. Super excited that it is Wednesday, halfway through the work week. And today we are going to be talking about negotiating in a seller's market. But while we wait for others to join us, I'd love to find out where you are joining from. So please feel free to share in the comments where you're joining us from, as well as maybe what you're up to today on this lovely summer day that's kind of funny weather here in Mission Viejo. There's apparently a 20% chance of thunderstorms, but we'll see if that actually comes about. Just so you know, of course, too, as always, we love your hearts, thumbs ups, wows. That is actually how we know that you're watching. Sometimes with Facebook, we can't always see who's watching, so usually your name will pop up so that I can see who's actually giving us a thumbs up or a heart or a wow or anything. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. So feel free to leave them in the comments. And, you know, hopefully I will have an answer for you. If I don't immediately, I will get it to you. But again, ideally, that's the best way for me to know who is watching. So again, feel free to like, heart, wow, comment or ask questions, as well as feel free if you think there's anyone that might be interested, whether it's a friend or family member in today's Facebook Live video, please feel free to, in the comments, add their name so that they can see this feed coming through, or share it with them personally or on their timeline or on your own timeline, so that more people can watch with us and enjoy our conversation. And so far I can see Alec and Jenny have joined us. Thanks so much for joining, you two. As I mentioned today, our episode of Love Where You Live, Give Where You Love is going to be on negotiating in a seller's market for home buyers. So before we get into that, though, of course, I always like to quickly touch upon love where you live, give where you love, and what that means to us here at the Swan Team. It's not just our motto, but it is something that we live by. We actually donate $500 to the school of a buyer or seller's choice for every property we help you buy or sell. And thus far, we have donated over $10,000 to schools and programs involved with schools. So we're really excited to continue that. And again, to help continue building the community where you live and where our clients live, so that they can continue to love where they live as well. Hi, Colleen. Thanks so much for joining us today. As well as that, I always want to remind you too that there are opportunities on our Facebook page to subscribe to our monthly newsletter. All you have to do when you go to our Facebook page is look on the left side, and there is a column for subscribe or email. And you will basically, once a month, you can get our monthly newsletter, or you can get the Orange County Housing Report. You can also sign up for our weekly blogs. And we also have a buyer and seller guidebook that you can subscribe to as well. So definitely feel free to check that out after this video if you'd like. And thanks, Jenny. Yes, we do love our giving program because, you know, the schools really benefit from it. It just seems like there's never enough funding for schools. So it is a wonderful feeling. And again, we love that we're giving back to our clients who are our family and our friends, you know, giving back to their communities as well. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining. So having said all of that, I know that I also asked too if anyone wants to share what they're doing today. That would be awesome. I know that I am super excited today because after this Facebook Live video, I get to go give the keys to a family who is a first-time home buyer. I get to give them the keys to their new house. So I'm super excited. It is one of the greatest parts of my job. Handing over the keys after all of the crazy things that go on throughout a transaction, and the hustle and the hurry up and wait type of scenarios that happen in a real estate transaction. I am super excited to give this wonderful family the keys to their new property. So that is just something that I have been up to today. And I'm also very excited and pumped because tomorrow I get to start showing houses to friends that moved out of the community, actually out of state, and are moving back. Hooray. So they are coming back and I get to show them lots of houses so that they will be close to us and get to enjoy all that Southern California has to offer. So just some fun stuff that I have going on right now. But with all of that being said, let's get into negotiating in a seller's market. Of course, all of this information can be found on our blog, which you can get in the link in the description. But you can also go to our website, which is www.theswanteamoc.com, and up in the middle to right hand corner is the word blog, and you simply click on that and that will take you to the post that will give you all the information that I'm going to go over today. It will actually give you more information than I'm going to go over today because I'm going to kind of summarize and give you the bullet points and the parts that I think are most important. But again, for extra details, you can certainly head over to the blog and take a look at that as a reference point, or just for some great reading. So having said all of that, again, right now in Orange County, we are definitely in a seller's market still. It's not that way in all markets, but we still are in a seller's market. There has been a little bit of a shift in comparison to the beginning of this year when it was, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably a 10 seller's market. And right now we're probably closer to a 6 or 7 sellers market. Sellers do have to be very wise in their listings, and buyers luckily are given a little bit of reprieve from the constant growth in price increases of homes. So that's a good thing for buyers for sure, and sellers just knowing that they have to look at fair market value is always a key for pricing your home if you want to sell it for top dollar and for selling it quickly. So again, here at the Swan Team, it's very important for us. We want to make sure that all of our clients succeed in whatever their goal is, whether it is to lease a property, to sell a property, or to buy a property. And so in buying a home, one of the first keys is, of course, being prepared. So it's the difference between you getting the property that you dream of and someone else getting it. So that, again, is something that is key to the home buying process, is being prepared. And so having said that, one of the first things that you want to do is, of course, find an experienced experienced agent to work with, because they are going to have the industry information, of course, the local knowledge as well of what's going on in the market, and have just dealt with a lot of different clients, a lot of different situations. I can speak from my own personal examples and history that I learned something new from every transaction. And just when I think I figured people out, I learned something new. So having had all of those experiences, that really can help you gain the confidence that you need when buying a home. Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining. So step number one in negotiating in a seller's market, of course, is working with an experienced and trusted agent. The second step is getting pre-approved for a loan. This is key because you can, for lack of a better term, get caught with your pants down, or actually even worse, build up expectations and then not be able to meet your own expectations because you thought that you qualified for a certain amount and in actuality you don't. So, it is key to get pre-qualified for a loan prior to going looking, even before you start looking on Zillow or Realtor.com or Redfin or anything like that. You want to know what you qualify for, because our minds get set and it's hard to then switch lanes without there being any sort of disappointment or frustration. So one other thing too to know about getting pre-approved for a loan is that you can get pre-approved with more than one lender. And it is a good idea to know what your options are and what terms best meet your situation. Everyone has a different financial situation. So, it can be very helpful and beneficial to you to talk with at least one or two, not at least two or more lenders, so that you can also figure out whose style you work best with. When you work with anyone in a customer service type of situation, style and personality have a lot to do with it, and have a lot to do with how you feel and the success of the transaction and the experience. So again, similar to finding an agent that you trust and want to work with, finding a lender that you can trust, because again, that lender has to pull through and make sure that you're able to perform and close on the loan in time, and that make sure that you meet all of their expectations in a timely fashion. So again, that is step number 2 in negotiating in a seller's market. The third one is understanding fair market value, which, as I kind of alluded to, because it's been a seller's market for so long now, sellers have kind of almost had they've essentially had the upper hand, but they have had the ability to kind of price homes not at exactly whatever they want, but when they've wanted to continue increasing the price, that's the thought process. When a home sells, if they have, apples to apples, a same or like house, they think, okay, well now my house is worth X amount of dollars more. So right now it's key to not be emotional in the situation and just look at the price that they throw out and say, okay, I love this house, I'm going to pay them, I'm going to offer that much. If it is a bidding war situation, it might be, a different scenario. But these days, again, looking at fair market value is key, because you don't want to overpay. And plus, if you are looking at getting financing, which most people are, there's always going to be the appraisal that has to come through too. And, we've been seeing in general some price adjustments and an increase in price adjustments here in Orange County, because I think sellers have been overestimating or overhoping what they think they can sell their home for. And as a result have had to drop the price 1 or 2, maybe even 3 times. So again, as a buyer, it's important that you understand what similar homes have sold for in the past and potentially stand your ground, so that you make sure that you get a value that meets your needs as well. Hi, Michaela. Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for joining us. So then the next thing that you need to do is everyone, of course, the fourth tip that I have to share with you is to make your best offer. Of course, as an agent, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say, we've got to make a good, strong offer. But I say that to you because I want you to get your offer accepted. And of course, I am a consumer and a purchaser just like you, and I want to get the biggest bang for my buck. And when I want to buy something that I want for as little money as possible. But as I always kind of like to compare house shopping to department store shopping. When you go into Nordstrom and you find a shoe that you like, and someone else is looking at the same pair of shoes, typically they might have at least 2 or 3 in that same size. However, when you are shopping for homes, there's only that one when you're looking at existing homes. If you're looking at new builds, it's entirely different. But in most cases, sales are of existing homes. And so again, you have to really take that into consideration, that there's only this one house, and what are you willing to offer to make your offer strong. And it's not always just a monetary offer that makes your offer stronger. It's not just the money and the value that you're and the price that you're offering for the house. There are terms that can certainly be very attractive to a seller. For example, the more money you put down is very attractive, because obviously then you're borrowing less and you're more likely to get your loan. If you have shorter terms, in most cases, a seller would prefer a 30-day escrow over a 45-day escrow. If the seller is looking for a rent back, that is certainly a part of the offer that you can extend to a seller to make your offer stand out and to make it strong, so that you ultimately get the dream property that you want to purchase. So again, making the best offer you possibly can. That is another tip in negotiating in a seller's market. Hi, Mike. Hi, Kim. Thanks so much for joining us. And lastly, when negotiating in a seller's market, you want to be prepared to win in a bidding war, which is why we recommend that oftentimes you are looking at properties that are slightly under your max budget, only because if there is a bidding war and it's a property that you really like, you want to be able to increase the money that you're offering as a purchase price. And if you're maxed out, or if the property is even over your max budget, then you're going to get shut out by someone else who it is under their max budget. So again, setting yourself up for success. It's important not to, especially here in Orange County and in South Orange County, if you're looking in that 600 to 800, 850 range, where there is a lot of demand for those properties, you are going to want to look and see that you're going to have a little bit of wiggle room on the top, because again, you don't want to, be in a situation where you're outbid 4 or 5 times because you're reaching and stretching for that house that is your quote unquote dream house. But unfortunately, it's just out of your reach and out of your grasp. So again, we strongly encourage to look, at homes that are slightly below your budget. If you are, like I said, in that $600,000 to $850,000 range. As you start increasing into more of the $1 million range, and even up to the, let's say, $1.5 million range, where homes are sitting on the market longer, the average is closer to 80 to 90 days versus more like 60 days, or 45 to 60 days in that lower price point. There is the opportunity to potentially look at properties that are slightly above your price range, or to potentially offer a little bit less than an asking price, or even just plain less, not just a little less, because there is more inventory and it is sitting a little bit longer. So again, these are all tips that I think are very important to understand as a home buyer when looking to purchase a home, and to know that you still have power in the situation, and you have control over your situation and your future. And again, working with an experienced agent will give you that confidence to make the right decisions, to look at the right homes, so that you then make the offer on the right home, and then you go into escrow and purchase the right home for you. So I haven't seen any questions yet, but if anyone has any questions about any of that, please feel free to write a comment, because I'd love to answer any of your questions. Of course, again, more information about these tips on negotiating in a seller's market is on the blog, which again you can access in the link in the description of this video, as well as just by simply going to the website at www.theswanteamoc.com and going up to the middle to right corner and seeing the word blog and clicking on that. Of course, you'll see this most recent one pop up, and there are the other options of past blogs that you can check out as well. Of course, too, there's always the options of looking in our Facebook videos section, and you can watch any of the videos that we have done on the past blog topics as well. So feel free to check those out. And as always, we are very thankful and grateful for all the referrals you continue sending our way. So please continue sending them our way. We love to work with all of your family and friends. It means the world to us that you trust us, and we love treating them like our family and friends, and taking great care of them and making sure that they are happy where they end up, whether it's buying, selling, or leasing. So again, you can also subscribe to the Orange County Housing Report, the monthly newsletter, the weekly blog update, or the buyer or seller guidebook if you look left on the Facebook page, and feel free to subscribe to that anytime. And again, thank you so much for the referrals. Catch us next week again at 4 o'clock for an all-new episode of Love Where You Live, Give Where You Love. We will be on location in Lake Tahoe. Let's hope that we have decent Wi-Fi and I will be able to come through for you. But hopefully I will have some sort of pretty background. I will find something either woodsy or lakey to have in the background, so it's not just my smiling face. So anyways, again, as always too, feel free to direct message us, call us at 949-444-1601, or email us at info@theswanteamoc.com with any questions, any concerns, any thoughts, any suggestions of topics that you'd like us to cover in the future. And that is all for today. So I will look forward to seeing everyone next Wednesday from Lake Tahoe. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and a great weekend. And as always, remember to love where you live, give where you love. Take care. Bye.